Hey there, it is July 31st, 2012, which makes this my 9th attempt at recording this video. It's taken me 21 years to be able to articulate this, and I'm still struggling with it, and I'm still trying to figure out the right way to explain to you what I'm about to say. So I ask for some patience, and I ask that you don't write me off right away and ask questions. I'm making this video because I want you to be a part of my life, and I want you to know what's going on in my life, and you're important to me, and the stuff in my life, it's important to me that you are aware of it and that you are a part of it. So there's no easy way to say this, so I'm just going to say it. I'm transgender. I have known that my whole life. It's that I haven't known the term for it. My earliest memories are that of me feeling so much confusion between the birth sex that I was assigned and the psychological gender that I identified with. I didn't understand why I was grouped with the girls because I wasn't a girl. Biologically, yes, but internally I was not. I was not a girl. Basically, my insides don't match my outsides. I have never felt like I identified with females. Whenever people would split us up by genders, they would, men over here, women over here. Internally, I had no idea where I belonged, and playing games out at school or at church, and having that sort of separation, like girls' Bible study is going to take place in this room and guys over here, and I would be eaten alive, and I felt like I had to surrender because society told me that I was a girl and that I needed to go with the girls. And that was so difficult for me because I did not belong there. I felt like, like any little boy growing up that was forced to go play with the girls, and he couldn't go play with the boys. Like, I felt that conflict. Like, why are you doing this to me? I know where I belong. Why don't you see it? And growing older, society says that women have these parts, men have these parts, and that's what sets us apart. But they don't. They identify it so much through our sex, our biological sex. Sex being your biological, physical being, and your gender being the internal. They don't. Society doesn't separate it by gender. Society separates it by biology. And so, as I got older, I learned about the different parts between men and women, and what makes a man, and what makes a woman. And I realized, the reality at that time for me was that there was no way for me to live as a boy. God was never going to change my body, therefore I could never be a boy. And I never knew that there was a way to live and identify more closely with the gender that I felt. I didn't know that there was a way to do that. I always thought that transgender people were freaks, and whenever I pictured a transgender person in my head, it was always, a grown man with hairy legs and a nasty wig. I was not a freak, therefore I was not transgender. And I was so off base. I didn't know that there was people that felt like I did. And moving to St. Louis, I met some people, some transgender people, who really encouraged me to do my own research, and I did, and I was blown away with how much sense my life made at that point, and all the struggles that I went through growing up, they were laid out in front of me. Like, this is exactly how I felt, and there's a name for it, and it's transgender. I was socialized 21 years as a girl, and that has left its mark for sure. On top of that, my body is female, and there's no denying that. There's really not. I'm not out to prove that I'm not a woman, and I'm not out to prove that I am a man. I am transgender. I am in between. I don't feel like my gender and my sex line up. You know, I don't feel like I am crystal clear, black and white, one or the other. I feel like I'm in between, and the term for that is transgender. My beliefs are still the same. I am still a Christian. I still believe in God. I think that God allows diversity to take place. I believe that, you know, God made me this way, and I think that, you know, he didn't make a mistake by not giving me male parts. You know, it's just it was his plan for me to have them not line up, and I think that diversity is beautiful, and I think that God thinks diversity is beautiful. And you know, who's to say that if I was born into a male body, that I would be the same person that I am today? There's no way. I know I wouldn't be the same person, and I love who I am. Right now, socially, when I say socially, I mean with my friends, I'm living as male. They call me Ray, and they use male pronouns with me. And I've come to find so much happiness and so much relief and so much comfort in the simple change of a pronoun, the simple change of a name, of a reference. You know, I have not changed whatsoever. These are things that I've struggled with all of my life. Nothing about me has changed at all. I'm not evolving into somebody else. I'm not changing. You are not losing me. I have always been the same person and will always be the same person. Nothing is changing except for the way I'm referred to and some physical aspects. But I'm still the same person. You're not losing me. So please know that. I have been extremely unhealthy and depressed because of this issue that I've struggled with my whole life. I'm not saying that I was never happy in life, because I was happy. I have been happy. It's just that the conflict between my gender and my sex has always been there. And to know that it could go away, to know that there is a way to live where I am more happy and healthy and comfortable, I'm going to chase that. I'm going to go after that, because ultimately I'll be leading a healthier and happier life. And I think that's what we all want from life. You know, we marry a certain person to make us happy. We get this certain job, get this promotion, you know, change this about our life to be happy. It's, you know, it doesn't change who you are. It may change, you know, the things that you do in life, but it's not changing you. And that's all I'm doing. I am simply changing some stuff to make me feel more comfortable. And I don't think that that is a bad thing. I'm not trying to deceive anyone. I'm trying to be a more comfortable version of me. I know this may be hard to take in and a lot to take in. It might be a little weird to you. You might not understand it. I actually probably think you're confused now, which might raise questions. But I implore you to ask me. I have no problem answering questions. I would rather answer questions than have you assume things that aren't true. I think that the transgender label has a lot of ill-informed and ignorant stigmas attached to it. We are misunderstood. I think that there's so few of the population that identifies as transgender that there's not a lot of information out there. Or, you know, we just don't hear about it all that often. I know it's going to take some getting used to, and I don't expect you to use male pronouns and call me Ray right off the bat. I don't think that that's realistic to expect, but I hope that, you know, maybe one day. I don't expect you to agree with my decisions, and I don't expect you to fully understand them, because I'm sure you've made some choices in your life that I don't agree with, accept, or understand. You know, if I'm important to you and you respect me, then you'll respect what's important to me. I think the main thing to know about this, first of all, is that I'm not changing at all. And number two, I'm happier this way and I'm healthier this way. And if you can't take anything else, if you cannot accept, you know, the changes that I'm making to my life, if you cannot understand them, that's fine. But please know that this is something that I need to do for me. This is something that if I do not do it, it will kill my person. It will, maybe not literally, but I will not be the happy, you know, hyper person that you've known. I'm more comfortable with male pronouns. I'm more comfortable with the name Ray. And that's that. It's as simple as feeling like I fit somewhere, feeling like the puzzle is actually being put together correctly. This topic is extremely loaded, and I've only been talking for not even 20 minutes on this. I realize there's probably some stuff that I left out. If you have questions, feel free to ask me. Last closing statement. I love you. I love you a lot, and that's why you're watching this. I want you to be a part of, I need you to be a part of my life, in whatever form that needs to be. You know, if you can never see me as Ray, then, you know, that's okay. It might do some stuff to our relationship, but we'll get through it. You know, we'll get through this together. Just know that this is what makes me happy. This is what makes me so incredibly happy, and I want you to be a part of it. You know, so I love you. Don't ever forget that, and I'll talk to you later.